Welcome to Janus Corporation's Citation Review for Air Pollution Control District and Air Quality Management Districts. Today we're going to talk about the citations Janus has received over the years from various local air quality agencies, AQMDs or APCDs. Remember, to protect your health and safety, you often have to do things in a safer fashion than what is required by regulation. Why the concern for regulatory compliance? First, as noted in previous Janus trainings, simply following regulation is not a sufficient way to protect a worker's health and safety. You must do it better than regulations require to stay safe and healthy. Our workers are our most important asset. It's imperative that you, as Janus employees, protect yourself while conducting construction work and hazardous material disturbance. As has been discussed in other Janus trainings, when it comes to hazardous material, the only way to prevent you from taking the hazardous materials home with you and potentially exposing your family is to both protect yourself properly while conducting the work and to decontaminate properly at the end of the day. Second, Janus' reputation for doing work not just legally, but well, is often the reason clients call us when they have a project involving hazardous construction materials. Every time Janus receives a citation, our reputation is damaged. Clients can be cited for violations committed by Janus workers. It's unlikely we will call back for the next project if we cause our client to be cited. Every time a client calls someone else to conduct their project, that is less work for our Janus employees. If we do not have enough work to keep everyone busy, we cannot assure everyone gets full-time hours. This is something each and every employee at Janus has control over and has a responsibility to pay attention to. Every issue discussed in today's training is something Janus has been cited for in the past. Violations: failure to install viewports. Viewports allow monitoring of work by people outside of containment. This allows supervision and regulatory agencies to see inside containment without having to enter containment. Crews working within containment often do not realize how much dust they may be generating. Viewports can help assure the proper level of water and the proper work practices are being used. Viewports are required by local regulations and can help assure you are working in as safe an environment as possible. Install them or get cited. Violation: inaccurate start date listed on notification. This has nothing to do with protecting anyone's health. It is simply a form that is required to be filled out and submitted, usually 10 working days before the project starts. Doing this correctly does very little for us, except keep us out of trouble with the local Air Pollution Control District and Air Quality Management District. Not filling this form out correctly or failing to revise it when things change hurts our reputation with regulatory agencies, and it costs us money in the way of fines. Not filling this form out correctly or failing to revise it when things change hurts our reputation with regulatory agencies, and it costs us money in the way of fines. When we fail to do something this simple, it makes the regulators feel that they need to look for additional issues that we may have failed to do correctly. Be sure you know the local requirements for notification. Bay Area Air Quality Management District requires notification for more than 100 square feet of regulated asbestos-containing material, RACM. That's friable or mechanically removed and more than 1%. From Bay Area Air Quality Management District's notification form, do you plan to demolish any structure or renovate a building where more than 100 square feet or linear feet or 35 cubic feet of asbestos-containing material will be disturbed? If yes, you must notify Bay Area Air Quality Management District. Notice it says disturbed. It does not have to be asbestos being removed. This comes into play with partial demolition and patchback of drywall with ACM skim coat or joint compound. An accredited asbestos survey is required for notification to be accepted. All air pollution control districts and air quality management districts require an asbestos survey, even if no asbestos exists, and that survey must be present on the job site the entire project. Know when notifications are required. Notice is required for San Francisco Bay Area Air Quality Management District when 100 square or linear feet of asbestos is disturbed, and for all demolition projects, whether there's asbestos there or not. Notices are required for SAC air quality when 160 square feet or 260 linear feet of asbestos is disturbed, and on all demolition projects. For Los Angeles South Coast Air Quality Management District, it's 100 square feet of asbestos, and all renovation and demolition jobs must be notified. For San Diego, it's 100 square feet of asbestos and all demolition jobs that have to be notified. Those demolitions jobs have to be notified whether there's any asbestos or not. For surveys being required to be on site, San Francisco Bay Area requires one, Sacramento requires one, Los Angeles requires one, and San Diego requires one. Notification and surveys are required to be submitted even if no asbestos was found. Notification and fees in San Francisco Bay Area for more than 100 square feet per year, that's calendar year, and all demolition projects. For Sacramento, it's more than 160 square feet, 260 linear feet per calendar year for each containment and all demolition jobs. For Los Angeles, it's more than 100 square feet of surface area, even for things normally measured in linear feet per calendar year, and all renovation and demolition jobs. Notification and fee for San Diego is greater than or equal to 100 square feet in any 365 calendar day period, not calendar year, and all demolition jobs. Remember, when working in San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, not listed above, basically Stockton to Bakersfield in the Central Valley, or any other jurisdictions, the rules are somewhat different than those noted above. The following citations have been issued to Janus over the years by Air Quality Management Districts or Air Pollution Control Districts. Inaccurate start date on our notification, 8 separate times. More often than not, that's where we submit a notification and fail to revise the notification when the start date changes. Inadequate wetting, not enough water in our bags. No viewport, 5 separate times. Clear sight windows are required for all air pollution control districts. We have to put them up. Non-clean work site. Cannot let debris pile up inside containment. You have to clean it up promptly. No generator labels for our asbestos waste bags. 3 separate times we've been cited for that. ACM waste, not sealed or labeled. You have to seal the bags and label the bags. Inaccurate completion date. We failed to revise our notification when the completion date was not met. Failure to post warning signs. Regulated area signs are required. Air Pollution Control District requires them, so does Cal OSHA. Failure to notify for multiple containments. This is a SAC, Air Quality Management District, which requires notification and fee for each individual containment. Failure to pay plan fees. Each notification revision has a fee in some air pollution control districts and air quality management districts. Dry asbestos bags. 5 times we've been cited for removal of asbestos and placement of it in a bag that doesn't have enough water in it. Breach of containment. Breaches of containment must be corrected immediately. Twice we've been cited for that. Use of expired notification form. Twice we've been cited for filling the form out properly and completely, but filling out the wrong form. Today's forms ask for different information than out-of-date forms. Violation, consultant HMS Air, my old company. Janus was cited because HMS made a mistake. Janus is responsible for the work that they do, regardless of how well the consultant did the job. We need to know that we're doing it correctly, even if the consultant doesn't know what they're doing. Failure to notify at all. 4 times we have started asbestos removal jobs without notifying the local air pollution control district. Failure to have a competent person on site. Again, this is both an OSHA and an APCD AQMD violation, no project supervisor. Failure to have a survey on site. We were cited because we did not have a survey. May have been a project where we were told there's no asbestos here. We cannot take that. It has to be a survey. While Janus has been able to avoid a monetary fine for a few of the violations listed, Janus has paid up to $5,000 for some of the violations listed in this presentation. Repeat offenses typically cost more than initial violations, and Janus is seen as a single entity, though we have 3 separate offices. Estimators must be involved in the notification process and assure revision when projects will not start or finish on time. Estimators need to ensure the crew on site has properly trained workers, including a competent person and a HERA supervisor in most cases. This is even more important when we do lead jobs. Estimators need to ensure each project has a survey on site. Even if the owner says there is no asbestos in this building, without a survey we cannot do the work legally, regardless of the building's age. Supervisors must assure crews use adequate water during the asbestos abatement activities. Supervisors must assure crews use adequate water when waste is bagged, without overloading the bags with water. Supervisors must assure containments have viewports installed every single containment. Supervisors must assure containment breaches do not occur or are addressed immediately. Supervisors also have to assure waste bags are labeled and sealed properly. Thank you for taking today's training on APCD, AQMD violations. Next week, we will discuss some Cal and Fed OSHA violations Janus has received in the past. If you have questions on this training, please contact Mike Sharp at 209-993-6123 or Mike S. at januscorp.com. Please proceed to the quiz.